today by John Cunningham from Unity. He's also our VR/AR Association chapter president for Central Florida. John, thanks for joining today, and thanks for being a part of the Immerse Global Summit coming up.
Hey, Nathan, thanks for having me. Looking forward to it.
Absolutely. So we wanted to just take a quick few minutes here, give the audience kind of an understanding of how you got into the immersive technology space and what's your role at Unity.
Sure. So look, I first got into immersive technologies probably about 8 years ago. I was working for Cunningham of University and on the business side of things. I'm not an academic by any means, but we were working with a lot of companies in our portfolio that had developed immersive technologies and curriculum using real-time 3D. And so that really initially introduced me to the power that this technology really had, not just in the gaming side of things and the education side, but also in training and some of that stuff. And so I got involved with the VR/AR Association about 4 years ago when I was really looking to learn about what was this immersive technology, where was it going, and how could I apply it to my business. And at the time, I was working for a company in Orlando as a chief revenue officer, and we were really exploring, like, where is this going and where should we be making investments? And I realized the people that I met that really seemed to know what they were doing were part of this organization called the VR/AR Association. And so I got involved and then realized that we didn't have a chapter in Central Florida. And so I contacted Nathan and Chris and said, hey, I would be interested in standing up a chapter. And immediately the response in our community was overwhelming. So many companies were also on that same journey and were looking for, a reliable place that they could learn about where the technology was going, what were the business benefits. And so we started our chapter in 2018, and we are now probably near 45, 50 members, corporate members in our chapter alone. I think it makes us the largest single chapter in the association. Now that we're starting to make this, yeah, thanks. Well, it's the community, right? It's a lot of its timing and being that catalyst and being that voice. But you guys did the hard work at the beginning, which was to get the association up and running. That creates value for our members because we've got all these great companies here in Central Florida that are doing amazing things in the military space, in the theme park space, in the medical space, and they're looking to get connected outside of this community. And so having this global ecosystem is really a value and a benefit to them, as well as helping organizations that might be interested in coming into Central Florida and working in the defense industry to give them a point of contact. But anyway, so now that we're kind of, I think, through this hump of adoption for XR technology, I think everybody accepts that, yep, this is the next, the technology is now going mainstream. We're now dealing with issues of scale rather than issues of, will this technology work, right? We check the box on that. Now, how do we scale it? Now, all of a sudden, the metaverse comes along and everyone's looking at, okay, how do these technologies then have a role in what's being called the metaverse? And how do we get involved? So the Immerse Summit, I think the timing is perfect, right? We're at the beginning of this next cycle of technology, and people are really looking to learn more and to connect with folks that are in the driver's seat.
Yeah, that's great. And so we have this summit on Madeira Island in Funchal, Portugal, one of the most beautiful locations in the world. What really excites you about coming to Madeira? And even, beyond like the beauty of it, the types of people that you want to meet, the things that you want to see there.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first of all, the European market is different than the US market, right? And so what I'm really excited about is, first of all, to be in that fantastic location you guys picked. I mean, Madeira Island is absolutely phenomenal. And the minute my wife heard that, I was going to be a keynote speaker in Madeira, she immediately said, I'm going with you. So, so that really helps, that when your spouse decides that the location is something interesting to go with you. But anyway, yep. What I'm really interested in meeting are our European colleagues, and to be able to understand what's happening in Europe. How's the metaverse being perceived? And we're still on this XR technology adoption cycle. One of the things that we're seeing very interesting is that the fashion brands in Europe are really starting to invest and get involved in the metaverse. I personally would like to understand how that could be transferred to the United States. And so I think it's more about just meeting some new folks and sharing some ideas and enjoying the beautiful atmosphere, because I'm sure we're going to have a great time and a lot of new relationships are going to be developed. And out of that, I'm absolutely sure, like any of these conferences, business deals come out of it. I tell you, in the 4 years that I've been involved with this association, I've never once went to a conference where a deal did not result as a result of meeting someone.
That's great to hear. That's definitely one of the key focuses and the missions of what we're trying to do with the Immerse Global Summit is connect people that can do deals. So
Yep.
very, very well said. So you did mention you're going to be giving a keynote. We're honored to have you. And Unity's obviously one of the leaders, the absolute leaders in the industry globally. So can you give us a sneak peek a little bit about the topic, what you might be talking with the audience about?
Sure. So what I'm going to focus on is very similar to what our CEO John Riccatello has been talking about, which is demystifying the metaverse and putting into context what we as Unity are seeing as the metaverse. What are some of the myths? What are some of the realities? And how we as Unity as a company are positioning ourselves to help creators around the world take advantage of our technologies to help build the metaverse. So that's what my keynote presentation is going to be focused on.
That's great. And, I think we're honored to have you because Unity works with some of the great brands of the world too, right? You're not just creating software in theory, right? It's being applied in all kinds of different industries. And, I'm excited to see what you bring to the table. I'm looking forward to seeing you in person again too.
Yeah, me too. Look, I think during COVID, the association did a great job of keeping the community together through virtual events, but there's nothing like breaking bread together, sitting down and really talking about things. So I'm absolutely looking forward to this.
Cool. One of the cool things I'll just add here as we wrap up, on Madeira Island, there's some really amazing extracurricular things you can do, some team building stuff, some networking things. Like I was out there a month ago and we went on this catamaran and literally over 100 dolphins swimming around the boat. It was just insane. So they call it like the Hawaii of Europe. There's hiking, there's things to do, sites, cliffs. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, and I also understand that the government of Madeira is going to be joining us, right? The president of the island.
Yeah, the president of the island, and then several of the secretaries of different parts of the government will be there. Will be speaking. The Secretary of Economy, I think, is going to be closing out the whole conference with a talk, as well as the Secretary of Technology and Education and Science, and also of Health. And then I can't forget, the tourism board. So Madeira has like 250,000 people that live there, but over 2 million people on average every year visit as tourists. So it's a big part of their economy. But what I was excited to see is that their government is really focused on expanding beyond that. And I think they realize with the pandemic, they can't rely just on tourism. And there is a lot of forward thinking, a lot of innovation actually happening on the island. So it should be great.
Yeah, and look, congratulations again on the venue. Everything looks fantastic. So now we just need to get everyone to come out and get through this.
Awesome. Look forward to seeing you there, John.
Yeah, likewise, Nathan. Take care, everyone.
All right. Thanks for your time.